Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And this video right here, I can cover at least 5 or 6 different topics with this one video. And I don't know which one I'm going to start off with because, well, let's list off some of them. Because one, the financial abuse, in my opinion, and also the lying, betraying, and hiding of what was going on. And then like the focus of the show, which is hiding her from the family, especially hiding her in order to hide the truth of what they were planning on doing, and also disregarding what her goals and dreams are and were, because yeah, at the end of all of the shenanigans, she ended up forgiving him. And well, I mean, I probably would have taken him to court and broke up with him, because especially after what Mr. Lockakey and what Mr. No Heart did to me, which they're going to be two great resources for my evidence for this. Because a lot of you, if you remember, Mr. Lockakey is addicted to special candy, or he was like, I if I'm guess like if you knew how many times this guy would get clean, quote unquote, and then next thing you know, he is stealing money from his grandmother again, trying to steal money from me, but then he doesn't realize that it's like, I guess I'm a nerd, so it's like in an Excel sheet or whatever. I would keep track and I would put how much money I have in my wallet or whatever. So if I'm budgeting or thinking of going shopping or whatever, I would like be able to know exactly how much I have on me. And so like, especially after hanging out with him sometimes, like something like karma or the Holy Ghost, somebody, some kind of spirit came and told me, check your wallet, count your money, because most of the time it was just with me. But if I have to go to the restroom or whatever, it's like, and next thing I know, $20 or $50 is missing. One time 100, because I was saving up for something and I had enough and I was so excited. And yeah, it's like I didn't tell him, but for some reason he knew to go like, well, as long as he wanted that special candy, yeah, he. And I knew that he just stole from his grandmother too, so that was another inkling. But anyway, when it comes to financial abuse, I know all about that. And with Mr. No Heart, he also, like, 2 hours before his bedtime, all of a sudden he would tell me, oh yeah, I don't have enough gas money to go to work. Or like before I would come to the house, I don't have enough money to feed the girls this weekend. And it's crazy because his youngest daughter treated me like, the oldest daughter sometimes treated me like garbage, but the youngest one 24/7 treated me like garbage. And so, and he knew it. He didn't care. And like, but he expected me to feed them. And like sometimes I would feed them because I wanted to make sure the oldest one was fed, but I knew the youngest one had to be like, if I do for one, I do for the other. And so it's like I did what I could, but then like he would only call me like 80% of the times that he called me was when he needed money or wanted money, or he wanted my car or needed my car or whatever. It's like it. And that's one reason why I need to do a whole thing about the financial abuse, because of not a lot of people, well, maybe it's just not in my algorithm, because some do talk about it, but not enough. Because yeah, a lot of people talk about the physical and mental, and I've been through like a lot of the mental, a lot, like kind of the physical, because Mr. Lockakey would threaten to punch holes in walls, and he would do other things or break other things and stuff in order to make me do things. Especially if he found out, like, if I, like, with one of my classes, I had a textbook or I had something, I was doing research, and he threatened that he was going to burn it. And he had a lighter to the book, threatening he was going to burn it. And just to make me do as he said. And yeah, he did a lot. He did a lot. But then when I broke up with him, I still think it's crazy how he owed me money and I just wanted the money, but his now wife, his middle school sweetheart, he ended up going back in, and she threatened to take me to court if I kept calling. But I'm like, he owes me money. Like, nah, but you want him. No, I don't. He blackmailed me to date him. And each time I tried breaking up with him, he either got back on the substance, or he would cut his wrists, or he would do bodily harm and do different things and blame me or tell me that it was my fault. And if I was with him, he wouldn't have done it. And then he would tell me if I continue not being with him, he's going to do worse. And once those things happen, his family is going to blame me. And I didn't care for majority of his family members, but it's like having that mental in my head. And then especially while the toxicity and the awful things were going on at my, like, the house I lived in anyway, it was basically one mental abuse situation to another. Perfect, right? Right? But with these two in the video, it's like they were dating, and somehow they decided to save money. And I think the young lady, her goal was to travel with it, go to Ireland and different countries. And part of me thinks that is amazing. And a lot of people, and I hope, like, when they travel, they don't just travel to where the tourists go. Because if I can ever get my business together, like, my goal, like, I want to go to the countries, but I want to go where the people are. I want to feel like I'm at one of their grandma's house, like at a table full, like, of food, and I'll help with the dishes. I don't care. It's like I want to feel like the Mikasa Sukasa type of feel, It's like the authentic, the cultural, because, well, remember, one of my minors is in, like, cultural anthropology. So I love being able to learn the authenticity of the country, of the culture, of the people, and things like that. So, like, with me hearing that that's one of her goals, I'm just like, oh, yes, beautiful. But then her man or whatever, to me, an absolute jerk. But she forgave this jerk. He went behind her back and bought farmland. And, like, if you look in the video, it's like they're constructing a brand new house with the money. And the male host on the show and stuff, oh, he is such a cutie too. He's a cutie pie. But he was just like, okay, so let's just say you had $50,000 in the account. That was her and his money. How much would be left? Because he didn't want to say how much was left. He didn't want to say how much was left. So the host gave him that scenario. And he said $8,000 out of 50. And he did not tell her. And the reason why he hid her from the family is because his family knew about the farmland and they knew about her. And they didn't want, he didn't want her to find out about the farmland that he didn't ask her permission to spend her money on. And yes, it's both of their money, but It's her money that's the concern. He could spend he could spend his money on whatever. If it was just his money, do you, boo? Do you? And this is where like the whole like when men say women are supposed to be submissive. Well, when you don't do stupid things like this, it's like that's one reason like I will never get married. I'm not getting married because I will never have a man try to tell me that we're going to have a joint account. Uh-uh. No. He can make more than me. I don't care. No. I'm going to have my money, my account, my house, whatever, and he can have his. And because I like while dating like Mr. Lockakey and Mr. No Heart, they basically did what a lot like that whole philosophy is like what yours is mine, or what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. That's how both of them did. And it's like neither one of them ever really had any money. Mr. Lockakey, the few times where he did have extra money, he knew I was about to break up with him. Oh, let's go to lunch, let's go to dinner, let's do this, let's do that. And sometimes I'm like, especially when I had homework, oh, you don't need to do homework. Oh, you don't need to care. Like, once I hit the halfway mark, once I hit that halfway mark, it was just like the love bombing and everything went out the window. It was more like, you better get in this car. If you love me, you'll go out with me. If you love me, you'll do this. And it's like, you need to stop reading. Like, you're such a nerd. You need to get away from the computer. You need to do this. You need to do that. Over and over again, repeatedly. And with Mr. No Heart, oh, you think you're gonna write a novel? Oh, you think you're gonna do that? Then I did it. And I'm gonna be publishing it later this year, but it was just and even with my college education, you only got that because you're black. That's what his mother said, but he never defended it. So part of me wondered, and with a lot of the things that he did and said, especially when I got the part-time professor position, anyone can do that. All right. And then when there were a couple of things that I was able to accomplish and do, and he hated it. And then with my money, when I started investing, because I was working 1, 2, 3, 4 jobs at the same time, depending on what time of the year or when in our relationship. But there was one point where I had 4 jobs, and he hated like because I paid off my credit cards and I was paying ahead on my student loans and stuff. I was so happy, and really I was just like, my credit score is getting higher and higher, and I started investing money. And he hated it. And one thing with Mr. No Heart is when when I was saving up money. It's like I paid off all credit card debt or whatever. And it's not like I had a lot, but it's like while applying for jobs and trying to do everything and anything else, it's like there. And then when someone stole my credit, yeah, I'm gonna cover that soon because I found him on Facebook 2 or 3 times, but I think he's still on the run. I think he might still be on the run, but I found him a couple times. I'll find him again. So anyway, yeah, my life is crazy, right? It's messy, but I remember like when I was starting to save money for a house, and he told me, "Oh, when once you buy that house, I'll get you a puppy." And I was just like, "What?" And I was like, at first I was just like, "What?" But it's like the way he made it sound. I was like, "Okay, maybe I should be excited because I do really want my own dog is or whatever." And but then I realized, no. No, he is like, he wants me to get the house so that he will never have to buy a house. He wants to just move into the house. He wants, like, because everything that I was able to get and afford, it's like him and Mr. Lockakey, they wanted credit for it. They wanted it. They wanted, like, well, with Mr. Lockakey, he wanted to steal it and take it as if it was his. But because I remember one time I bought tablets on sale on a website. At first I bought one and he was like, I want it, I want it. And he just get like, but then I was like, I got this so I can like write my books like while I'm on the job, like because I was doing promotional modeling and stuff. And I was like, this will be easy for me to type up my stories and stuff. And so he threatened to punch a hole in the wall, and he threatened to break glass. Like he did something else too, and it was something different out of the ordinary. And so part of me just wondered, like, what is going on with him? Why does he want this tablet so badly? But then I realized, like, once I like, yeah, I gave up because he would not stop and he would not be quiet, and that's one reason why now with dating, it's like I try to be very, very strict with who I tolerate and spend time with or who I match with. I look at their profile up and down because with him, it is like everything that, like, because even with my cell phone, he just got a cell phone, I think 6 months prior. But when he saw my cell phone, it's an Android. It was Android. I've always had Android. But and yes, some people are gonna, oh my gosh, she doesn't have an iPhone. Get over yourself. Anyway, it's like I gave up because, like, yeah, he was threatening to do stuff and even threatening to do stuff to himself. And oh no, he threatened to break the Archer DVDs that I just bought. Yeah, because he went downstairs because we were in the TV room. He went downstairs, came back upstairs with the cases, and because I bought them, he never has any money, so I bought the DVDs, and we just watched one or two of them. And he looked me right in the eyes, like with them in his hand, took the DVDs out, put them in his hand like he was gonna break them. And me in the back of my, I was just like, I'm trying to save money. I bought those as a treat so I can enjoy something, because about all I'm doing is grad school homework and working. And when I'm not doing those things, I'm here escaping the nightmare at home or whatever. And now you're threatening to like, oh, if you like, and if you only knew all of the things he decided to break. But I say all of this because, especially ladies and, okay, gentlemen, like, some of you might be in the situation, but I don't know because I only date men. So, and that for now, at least, whatever. But it's like he only wanted me because of my financial situation. And my financial situation was still awful, but it was better than his. And because, like, yeah, I was paying grad school and I was trying, like, this is before Mr. No Heart. So, like, with like the person who stole my identity, I still had that on my credit card. And I'm still trying to build and get myself out of the situation because of him. And trust, I will tell that whole thing or whatever, but he hated whenever I was able to accomplish something, especially when I finally finished my master's. And that's one reason why I just think it's crazy how his his now wife, she was blaming me for him never meeting my parents. Nah, boo boo. he went around and bragged to all of his friends that once he was going to meet my parents in the wintertime so he can wear one of those big thick jackets so that when he came over to my parents' house he would be able to steal from my parents. He never met, like, he saw my father one time when he was outside because he had to pick up something because I was trying to help him get a job. So I helped him, like, gather some information. So he drove by the house and picked it up. So, and I think my dad was outside doing something with the trees or brush or whatever. But I mean, yeah, he was bragging to his friends that he was going to steal. And then on top of that, I told him, you have to be clean for at least 3 to 6 months. Because I was hoping, like, okay, at least if you're clean, you're not going to be stupid enough or dumb enough to try to steal from my family. Because if you do that, I will, like go to the police. I will snitch on your no good butt in a minute, in a second. Because yes, do I had an absolutely horrible relationship with my mother, but you're not going to steal from her. And the only reason I'm dating you is because you blackmailed me, telling me that you were going to eliminate yourself from this earth if I didn't date you, and then calling me every single day for 30, 90. I think it was on and off after that, because yeah, it's like, because even when I did say I was going to leave him or break up with him, he would tell me he was going to eliminate himself from the earth and it's going to be my fault. He was going to harm himself. He was going to jump in front of a car. He, like, so many things he said he was going. There was a time where he got mad at me because I said, like, this isn't working out and I'm tired of the emotional trauma that he's causing me. Isn't that probably not in those words, but he called me downstairs, like, because I was packing my stuff because I was like, I cannot do this anymore. And he had a noose over one of the bars in the basement. And I know, like, now I know he wasn't going to do it, but he was trying to scare me. And it did, because he told me once I walked out that house, once I got in my car, he was going to do that and it was going to be my fault. And so, like, when it comes to men, and that's one reason why when I watched this video, it's like I was able to connect with it in so many ways, because it's like the way he just used her money. He didn't ask for her. Like, he was like, I thought I was doing the best. Like, no, 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 no. That's partially her money. And what about if she did break up with him? Then they would need to go to court, and that means part of that money that they saved up now would need to go to court, so then they can have everything split up. Or were there receipts? Or one smart thing, maybe if they both had an Excel sheet and they had the exact amount of whose money is who, so then he could pay her in payments, or create a contract with a lawyer and everything like that. It's like, because I don't know, just the gall of this man, the absolute gall. But a lot of men feel like they have the power to do this. And again, this is why I will never get married, because with my efforts to save money and to even start my own businesses and to work and everything like that, so, like, these two men that I talk about, like, because I dated one Lock a Key for 5 years, No Heart for almost about 7 years, and the emotional financial trauma they both put me through, because I just skimmed the surface with Mr. No Heart, and I still have more about Mr. Lock a Key, because Mr. No Heart. It's like he hated it whenever I was able to accomplish something. But especially when I started investing, he would laugh at me. He would literally laugh at me. And I'm just like, and I caught on, like, because even after breaking up with him and talking to other guys, other men would be like, women don't invest. Why are you investing? You should spend more money on your hair or wigs. You need to spend money on getting your nails done. You're supposed to look more feminine. You're supposed to be a girl. It's like you need to buy Prada and Gucci and name, like a lot more name brand, because if you're going to be out here, I need you looking rich on my arm. And I'm just like, have we really come this low? Are we really this stupid? And majority of these men are white. It's like a couple are black, but majority are white. So I just had to put that. And a couple of them are Indian, Middle Eastern too. So don't get it twisted. Middle Eastern, yeah, you know, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have so many more videos on this video because just the I just wonder, or no, this proves why a lot of the men feel like they can do whatever they want and they expect women to just fall through. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. And I have so much more to cover on this topic. And I'm going to talk more about the financial abuse and also just the goal of this guy is like, because I don't know if it was a power trip, but yeah, and the audacity, and then even more about the meeting of parents, and because it is important, but then sometimes it's important why you don't introduce certain people to your family and friends, because, and also if someone doesn't want to be invited, because one, like, Mr. Lockakey and Mr. No Heart are both liars. Mr. No Heart, I invited him almost 20 times to meet my family, and he refused. But then at the end of the relationship, he blamed me for and told his mother that he never met my family. I'm gonna cover that. Yeah, like, because he told all of his family, no, I never met them. She never invited me. I got the screen, like, I think I still have the screenshots too when I invited him to 2 or 3 different Super Bowl games. So you might want to watch how you lie, Mr. No Heart. And then Mr. Lockakey, I told him it's like once you can be clean for a certain amount of time. Because I never wanted him to meet my family, and I kind of knew he would never be able to do it. So did I really want him to meet them? No, because I knew I would never want to marry him. Because I knew he was absolutely awful, dreadful. For me, like, yeah, he's married to a woman that his middle school sweetheart. So happy, like, the one that called me the N word, and like, because I wanted my money that he owed me, and she wasn't gonna have that. I wonder if I can still take them to court because I do have, like, I found over time, I found records that prove it. So I'm kind of wondering if I can. But anyway, there will be part 2, part 3, maybe even part 5, 6, 7, 8. Talk to you soon. Bye.